What's up, guys? It's the 11th year of the Hungry Howie's Mr. Football race. What started with Torsten Boss way back in 2008 finds ourselves here in 2019 as we get set to kick off another campaign. Sean Belizean is here, will be here all season long. You'll be able to catch him selectively on Extra Point on Friday nights when we have our live talk show that we'll be doing here at State Champs. But this is all about Mr. Football. Our top 10 list, as you can see on your screen, is up there. It's always kind of a difficult challenge to nail it down to 10 right off the bat, but guys are going to be able to play their way on. Some will play their way off the list, but overall, again, it's an amazing, amazing run. Last year, in particular, DeQuan Finn kind of snatching it, by his performance at Ford Field. It's just really great to see. And because we've distinguished it now between the Anvil Award, where the linemen and linebackers have their place there, this is really about skill, and it's about the stars.
Well, and it's great being back with you, Lauren, and shout out to Hungry Howie's as well. Try the extra Cajun. Trust me, okay? But listen, here's the beautiful thing. Michigan football is in such a great place right now. It's exactly the circumstances in which you talked about. There are guys that maybe aren't even within shouting distance right now, that 4 or 5 games in are going to be mainstays on our list. Such is the strength of the high school football here in the great state of Michigan. Cameron Martinez last year, I know more on him in a second. This is a guy all year long made his case, and DeQuan Finn made his case, and there were so many guys that could make their case, but in the end, like Highlander, there could be only one. And we had to go with DeQuan Finn. I mean, that outstanding performance that he had. But what's going to happen in 2019, you'll find out.
Absolutely. So every week we're going to talk a couple of guys. He just mentioned it, so let's start there. A lot of people felt very strongly that Cam Martinez could have been our Mr. Football, and he very well could have. DeQuan Finn beats Muskegon in the state championship game. And we do have kind of a King Muskegon thing going on this week's show. But let's talk about Cam. He's a senior now. He is committed to Ohio State, and the kid is all about talent. I can't wait to see what he does on the field this year.
That's the million-dollar question. What's going to be the encore? Are they going to be hungry like you saw King last year? King felt like something was taken away from them. And so King came out and played with that chip on their shoulder, and we know how that ended. I think Muskegon's going to do the same thing this year. Look, I think people forget what a machine Muskegon was, and that machine was driven by none other than Cameron Martinez. Now, the interesting thing about Cameron Martinez, it's almost like, Lauren, one of the fun things about this job to me is watching the kids go through this process before our eyes, because you saw a couple of those offers come in, and then they all started pouring in. And so he has made the commitment, as you mentioned, to Ohio State. But rumor has it you're going to see Cameron Martinez used in a myriad of ways. You know what he can do out of the backfield as a quarterback. Might he line up in the slot? This is a guy that can also throw the ball. Make no mistake about it. He made his bread with his legs, but he can get it done with the arm. He's playing on the defensive side of the field as well. Listen, this Muskegon team, I don't have to tell you, they have been a powerhouse for years now. They're hungry. They're loaded for bear. It's going to be fun to watch. And Cameron Martinez is leading the way with this squad.
Absolutely. They've got De La Salle and King out of the gate in the first 2 weeks. So we're going to see exactly what he is made of. He broke the school rushing record, 2,526 yards. This is Muskegon we're talking about. And he breaks the record. This is a team that had Khalil Pimpleton just a couple of years ago. So really excited to see what he does. King now has a new quarterback. They've got to, kind of see if they can do this thing again. But they've got a really, really talented wide receiver. So if you are the new quarterback there for the Crusaders, you got a great target to throw to.
Well, and I think what's interesting is we were just talking about Cameron Martinez. We watched DeQuan Finn grow up in front of our very eyes. This is a young man that went in as a quarterback, and then they took the lump, and then they got back to the mountaintop, and it was led by DeQuan Finn. What can they do for an encore? I know a lot of people are sitting back saying, okay, the Crusaders, look at how much they lost. Listen, they reload. That's what King does. That's what has made King such a powerhouse in the state. But I think Williams is going to lead the way. Who better, when you're breaking in a new quarterback and breaking in other pieces of an offense, to have a guy that's been there, that's done that played a good role with the team last year, but now is going to be a featured guy. So if you're looking at last year saying, okay, what's the eye-popping numbers? They weren't there because he was but a piece. Now this is going to be, to me, Lauren, this is going to be a featured player, a leader on the team, a guy that can look at everybody else and say, been there, done that, grab him by the scruff of the neck and say, we're going this way because this is what we do at King. To me, this is a guy, a lot of expectations on him, and I expect to live up to him.
Very much like Ambry Thomas served that role for King a couple of years ago. Rashawn Williams had 32 offers before he eventually chose Indiana. And like Sean mentioned, last year there were 3 receivers with over 300 yards receiving. So Finn had a lot of targets he could toss to. Dante Moore, the new quarterback, is going to be keying on Rashawn Williams. I think he's going to have a really big season, and I think he's going to be in this race. They've obviously got a really tough matchup here right out of the gate. Detroit Catholic Central on Saturday at the Prep Kickoff Classic. So we'll see where the Crusaders stand after week 1.
Guys going to Ohio State, Indiana as well, and you're seeing more and more guys from our area, make that decision to go to an Indiana, go to a Purdue as they continue to build up. Those are Big Ten offers. We got 2 studs from gargantuan programs. What a great way to start this season.
All right, guys, so what you do, you go to the website, statechampsnetwork.com. That is where you vote for your favorite top 10 candidate in the Hungry Howie's Mr. Football competition. And what's great about this is, number 1, guys are going to fall in, guys are going to fall out. So if you vote for your guy, vote for him often. He can't, if he's at the top of the list, we can never take him off the list. So this kind of plays out like the Heisman race in college football. There are going to be guys who come in, go out. If you fall out, you can play your way back in. It's really fluid. It's really fun. So go to the website, do it now, and we'll talk to you next week.